I found that this is something that Roman really likes. And he's getting fussy. He likes to bounce like this. Bounce, bounce, bounce. It must feel good for him, but it just really hurts my arms. You like that? I think I'm gonna get him in the carrier though, because I need my hands a little bit here. Because sister's about to wake up and we need to get this day going. I definitely always get the most milk in the morning, but I've been loving this thing. It is the Mom Cozy M5 wearable breast pump, and just super convenient for a mom of 2 life. Today's Friday, June 14th, and it is a school day for my daughter. So when she gets up and we do breakfast, the whole thing here, I'm honestly going to bring this in the car and pump on our drive to school. I'll link it down below because it has been one of my saving graces as a second-time mom here. And these motif breast milk bags are really nice too. I like how it has the pour spout, so it makes it easy to transfer right into a bottle. And then just pour it on in. Ta-da! It's Friday today.
My school day.
School day. Let's go ahead, turn on your show and get your breakfast ready, okay? Mama's tummy is very hungry. Rule number 1 in postpartum, mamas gotta eat too. I kind of feel like we are getting ready a little later here than we normally do, especially on a school day, but kind of let Gianna sleep in a little bit. I feel like when she wakes up on her own and is like fully rested, that is just when her mood is the best and just makes the rest of the getting ready process a little easier. But I'm gonna pack my pump bag is what I've been calling it, and I've actually had this same little lunch bag since I was in college, so it's just funny how it's being used for something so different right now. But I feel like when I'm on the go and everything, this is just like what I end up packing to keep the milk fresh and good and everything. So I stick an ice pack in there, and then the breast pump itself, and then we actually just found out at Roman's 1-month appointment that he probably has a cow's milk protein allergy. So this is very new to me, but I was noticing some like little specks of blood in his diaper, and then he would just become incredibly fussy like after every single bottle that was like my milk. And so our pediatrician recommended that either A, I have my diet go dairy-free, soy-free to kind of clear up that allergy, or B, we look into a hypoallergenic formula. I'll touch more on this a little bit later when I have some time, but for the allergy, we've been using the Similac Alimentum for the last couple weeks here. And when I was pumping just my milk, I would pack like an empty bottle, but right now I just filled up a bottle with 4 ounces of water so that I can just put the scoops of formula in there when he is ready for a feed. And then in this little front pouch too, I have some more breast milk storage bags to put the milk in as well. I really gotta eat. Get us going here. Roman, I'm coming. Going to school today. What do you say? You remember that song? So we did get to drop off just a little bit late. Usually I aim to get there by 10 o'clock. Got there more like 10:15, 10:20. So luckily our daycare provider is super duper flexible, but it does make me a little nervous for next fall when we start preschool, and the time is more like 8 o'clock for drop off. But look at this. I pumped all of that on our way to daycare. It's about like 4 ounces. So I'm gonna put it into the bag here. And then usually after I've been dropping off Gianna on Friday, I've been stopping at like a park to go on a walk. I love our new house, but the walking situation is a little limiting. So it's just nice for a change of scenery. Found like a couple of parks or like neighborhoods I'll just park in and then get baby in the stroller and we'll go on a little stroll together. So there's a date, and then I'm just gonna stick it in the cooler bag with the ice pack, and then I'll put it back in the fridge once we get home. But yeah, that cow cow's milk allergy. It's making me feel funny because I honestly feel like I would do anything and everything for my children, but limiting my diet to like the dairy-free and soy-free, so I already mostly do gluten-free. It's just a little bit triggering for me with some like past disordered eating history and stuff. And I know formula is totally fine. We did formula with Gianna. I have no problem with it. But I don't know, you just get this like sense of pride when you're able to like produce your own goods for your child and give it to them that way. At least for me, that's how I've been feeling, because honestly, things have been going really good so far this postpartum, and I'm very grateful for that. I don't know if it's because it's like not COVID, which is when Gianna, my daughter, was born, or just like being a second-time mom, I have the experience and a little more confidence in what I'm doing. Or one of my theories is that maybe Roman is just a little bit easier of a baby than Gianna was. But whatever concoction of things are at play, things are just going a lot better this time around. But I'm like a little nervous, especially to stop pumping, because with Gianna, I pumped for like about 2.5-ish months before like switching fully to formula, and kind of similar to how I was feeling then, I'm feeling now. Like I'm riding some kind of like a motherhood high. I don't know if it's like the hormones from producing the milk and everything. But I remember last time, kind of like once my milk supply like totally just went away, that's when I started to notice more like anxiety and mood swings and stuff like that. So that's kind of like my fear of stopping to pump, because I'm feeling so good right now and I'm just worried and nervous to go through that again. So currently, as of like the last 2 weeks, we've been giving Roman all of like the Similac Alimentum special formula, and he's been taking it really well, less fussy, no more blood in the diapers. So I feel like that's totally a win and a benefit on his end and our end too as the parents. And I've been keeping up with pumping every 2 to 3 hours and just storing the milk all in the fridge and then freezing it. So once I get home after this walk, I'll show you. I feel like I've got quite the stash right now, but I don't know what I'm gonna do with it. So I don't know, I'm just like in this like weird in-between place about, am I gonna stop pumping or continue? And it's just been a little conflicting for me lately. Motherhood is such an emotional journey with lots of highs and sometimes some lows, and there's just always something new to be learned.
Open air, side by side we sway there in all the colors. Some love.
Almost made it. Lunch, baby. So I'm not gonna lie, it's actually like a whole hour later, 2 o'clock. We just had a really fussy stretch there, I guess. I think the thing with Roman is he just likes to move and wiggle and squirm and just be bounced and all of that. He seems to be asleep on me now, but signing up for HelloFresh has been really helpful because I just warmed up like it was like beef taquitos or something, and then I made rice and peppers on the side. I did sign us up for the 4-person meal plan, so that way like when I'm cooking, I'm able to get those leftovers for the following day for my lunches and have like a meal that's just like super easy and ready to heat up. So that's just been super helpful for this postpartum and not having to like think about meal planning. We still need to think of like some meals for the week, like after the HelloFresh ones are gone, and still need to go to like the grocery store for snacks and all that other good stuff, but at least it can take away some of the mental load in this postpartum season. I just posted a reel on my Instagram as well about like what stage is harder, newborns or toddlers. It was a brand collab with Kindred Bravely to promote some of their new releases for summer. But to answer that question, which stage is harder, I feel like now going through the newborn stage for the second time around, I can confidently say that toddlerhood has been so much harder for me. And my experience might be different from yours, but I don't know. Based on my motherhood journey so far, I know babies can get fussy and colicky, and then you're like sleep deprived and stuff, but I would pick this newborn stage over just like the tantrums and the defiance and the lack of logic that goes on in toddlerhood. But let me know down below maybe what was harder for you, because I know everyone has a different experience and every baby is different, of course. So some of you moms might have had a really tough newborn time, and then once your kid got to toddlerhood, maybe you were very relieved. I don't know. But for me, yes, toddlerhood 1000% has just been so much harder. And I think too, another common question is like, is the transition of 0 to 1 or 1 to 2 kids harder, or even like 2 to 3, but not there yet. And again, I know I haven't been a mom of 2 for very long. Roman is just about to turn 2 months old actually, but alas, so far, that transition of 0 to 1 kids has significantly been harder for me personally. And I was trying to think of like why that might be, and kind of what I thought of was, one, Gianna's age, since the kids do have about a 4-year age gap. Roman was born right before Gianna's 4th birthday, and I think her being older and having more independence and like being able to like listen and understand things and kind of coming out of that toddler stage as well, that's made for a pretty smooth transition for our family. That was something I was really nervous for when I was pregnant with Roman, or even thinking about having another baby, was like, how am I going to handle this? How am I going to balance 2 kids? And to my surprise, it's been a lot easier than I thought it was going to be. But I also think I was preparing myself for like pure chaos. So there's been hard moments, when both kids need something. Gianna's been like extra attention seeking lately, and we still have tantrums, not as many, but they're definitely still present. But I feel like George and I are able to communicate a lot better this time and understand how to be a mom and a dad, and I've kind of gotten the hang of this parenting thing a little bit. So we're like in a better place there, which overall I think has really made for a smooth transition from 1 to 2. And then also going from 0 to 1, I think just in general, like learning how to be a mom and becoming a mom is like what totally threw me for a loop. I didn't really realize how much work goes into being a parent, how much responsibility there is, and sacrifice, and the whole like expectations versus reality was really hard for me at first. I definitely talk a lot about that in therapy, because ever since I was a kid, like I knew I wanted to become a mom. I pictured myself getting married and having kids and all that. But also in my head, when I thought about becoming a mom, I think my brain just skipped over like the first of 5 years and went straight to like a kid in kindergarten. And like I thought about like packing school lunches and going on their field trips and doing all these activities that kind of like an older kid would do. I also think I totally did not take into account like the younger years of 0 to 5, which so far have seemed to be some of the harder years, because it's just when your kids are vulnerable and they need the most help, like learning to communicate, and then just like needing a lot of stuff, needing to be fed and changed, and diapers and cleaning butts and stuff. So that was definitely like a big shock to me, going from no kids to just that first one. It's just how much work goes into being a parent. It's a very time-consuming job, and one that has a lot of responsibility, and one where the work can often go unnoticed and underappreciated, but can definitely be fulfilling and worth it, right?
Open air, side by side we sway there in all the colors.
So I pumped again at some point here while I was eating lunch. So I'm gonna put this again in a bag and then add it to the fridge, as well as the milk from earlier as well. It was like 3 ounces or so. If you ever think you're not doing enough in a day as a mom for a newborn, definitely are, because geez, oh Pete's. We got rows of milk, rows of it. That's why I just don't know what to do, because I think it's starting from like I need to start getting this all into the freezer outside. It goes back to like June 11th. So 11, 12, 13, 14. So breast milk's usually good in the fridge for 4 days. But we're gonna run into the problem where we're gonna start running out of freezer space once I get it moved to there. So oh shush. Shush fridge. I'm probably gonna have to make a decision soon about what to do. I figure the breast milk won't go bad because babies can grow out of their milk allergy, so I can use it down the road, or could even donate it. So we shall see about what decision I come to eventually. I don't know. Make sure you subscribe though and stay tuned for what we'll end up doing. I don't know.
Washed in every shade of green in all the colors. Summer love.
And it's not that I think I couldn't cut out dairy or soy for the whole breast milk issue, but I've come too far with my relationship with food for the better. So at the end of the day, you got to do what's best for your mental health, because the absolute best gift that you can give your children is your own peace of mind. You good over there, Roman? Okay. Duty calls. We will see you in the next one. Bye.